Hello and welcome back. This is video number 5, and we're going to talk about creating an avatar profile. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking all the data that we did in the previous video and writing it all down. Okay, so what I want you to do is simply pull out a piece of paper or a notepad, whatever makes you feel like you're organizing, and let's jot things down. So like I said earlier, this is not set in stone. It's just giving you a better idea of who you could be targeting. So if we take a look at here, remember I started with any age and any gender, but we can see 55% of women on Facebook, 45% of men in Facebook. But we can see that in general, it seems like the most is men. But it does seem like it's 50-50, so we're just going to stick with both. Now, like I said, we see 25 to 34 as the age. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 25, like so. And we can kind of get us an idea that this is the majority, and then it kind of sinks down here. So let's just say we're going to start with this group here. And let's end it at 54. And now we have about 2.5 to about 3 million. So let's click on page likes. Now, before that, let me go ahead and jot things down. So location in this case is going to be the United States. The age is going to be 25 to 54. The gender is going to be all. And in this case, the interest is going to be scuba diving. So all you're doing is simply jotting down what you see. All right, so scrolling down here, we have relationship status. The majority are married with a college level education. So married, say relationship, and education, and job title. And remember, we see that the majority is production. So we're going to type in production. Veterans, installation, repairs, etc. And the job title is not necessarily something that we're worried about right now. Most of the time, you're just going to target the location, the age, the gender, and the interest. And you can get more specific by targeting married. So we could target these. And then based on that information, we'll know more later. So let's scroll back to the top and we'll go to page likes and let's jot this down. So we've got clothing store. They like the 9-line apparel, and then they got Ray. They like Bass Pro Shops, which is not a clothing store, but it's a store. What products do they buy? What services do they use? What websites do they visit? What TV shows do they watch? So they watch the National Geographic. They like to visit All Recipes. And then we've got page likes. So what's the difference between this and this? So this is page likes, and these are actual categories that they're interested in. So we got page likes, we've got Jenny Springs, Salt Life 9-line apparel. Now, what you're going to see here is relevance. Relevance basically means that in relation to scuba diving, how closely are these audience related? So obviously, the further you get away, the further you get away from how close they are to that interest. The closer you are, the closer you are to that interest, if that makes sense. So we have affinity level, which basically tells you how close they are to the audience that you're looking for. And the closer they are, the easier it is to target them, right? So it's always good to start with the ones closest to the top. So now remember, we saw location. We saw a lot of Florida and we saw a lot of Hawaii. And then in terms of activity and devices, we saw that a lot of them use mobile devices. So iPhone, Android, etc. Now you can further create this avatar profile. Another method is by going to google.com and looking for magazines. So why magazines? Well, if you flip through the magazine and you go through to the advertise page, you'll notice that these magazines have what we call a media rate card. And what this does is a lot of times it'll tell you the exact demographic and the exact avatar that you're trying to target. So let's type in, for the sake of simplicity, we'll type in food magazine, like so. And you can do food magazine advertise. So for example, the Food Network magazine media kit, the Food and Wine magazine. And bear in mind that we are not going to advertise on these networks necessarily. You can if you want to, but this will give us a better idea of the demographic. So essentially, a lot of these magazine companies, they want you to advertise. So in order to get you to advertise, they're going to provide you with the demographic information. So we can see here, besides this data here, sometimes if you scroll further down, it'll tell you stuff like this, like adults, it looks like mainly women, about probably 70% women or 90% women actually. It tells you the age group. So the majority are 18 and above, how much money they earn, if they have children, are they married, are they employed, what is their education level. So what I would do is I would go to Google and type in whatever your niche is, space, magazine, space, advertise. And most likely you'll be able to find this information. So food and wine, for example. If we go to the advertise, it'll give you an idea of who you're targeting. So audience right here. We can go and take a look at the audience profile and match it with the Food Network one and get a better idea of the patterns that show up. What are things that are consistent throughout, essentially? So that's another method that you can use. You don't have to, but I just wanted to give you more so that you can kind of target people in a more specific manner. So go ahead, write things down and keep it saved on your computer. Hello and welcome to video number 6, and we're going to talk about the important Facebook ad rules. This is very, very important because, like I said earlier, if you do not follow Facebook rules, you can easily get banned and it's very hard to get an ad account back. All right, so we want to make sure that we really go through the Facebook ad policy with a fine tooth. I'm going to show you a few things that are very important that you really need to pay close attention to, because at the end of the day, Facebook cares more about their customers, which essentially are their users, than you as the advertiser. Because if they offend their users, guess what? Word's going to spread and they're not going to want that. So we want to make sure that we do not offend people according to Facebook's rules. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to head on over to facebook.com/policies/ads. That's facebook.com/policies/ads. Okay, so when you get to this, you're going to see a lot of advertising policies, and you want to go through these. I know this is boring, but this is very important because if you don't follow Facebook's rules, they will simply ban you, and that will be tough. And what we've seen in the past is even if you do the right things sometimes, even if you make a little bit mistake, you can get banned or your ad account deleted. So Facebook is very, very, very a big stickler to rules. One big rule is how you talk to people. You don't want to say things like you're going to lose weight in a certain amount of days. You don't want to make these claims. So I'm going to show you in a second how to write your ads. So this is a good way to figure out what Facebook likes, what Facebook doesn't like. So policies, it says our advertising policies, sexually suggested content, Facebook brands. So what we want to do is we want to open these up in new windows. Okay, so personal attributes. This is big. Basically, Facebook does not like it when you point people out and say, hey, you're this, right? So you want to be as indirect as possible. Because Facebook is so powerful in the sense that you can target people of a specific race, education, gender, age, interest, and all of that, you have to be careful. So basically it says policy ads must not contain content that asserts or implies a person's race, ethnic origin, religion, beliefs, age, sexual orientation, mental status, financial status, or anything. So what's nice about this is Facebook gives you some examples. So it says, for example, add creative that describes or shows the promoted product or service. So you can talk about your product and service all you want, but what you cannot do is refer to somebody and basically say, hey, meet so-and-so. So for example, race, you can say, meet Hispanic men online now, or find black singles today. Because what this does is it doesn't apply or imply that you are that race. So for example, it says meet other certain race singles near you. So what this implies is that you are black because it says the other. So you can't say meet other, whatever race, singles near you, because it implies that race. Or religion, it says date Christian singles, or looking for Buddhists near you, meet Hindu singles online now. So this doesn't imply that you are this race. If you say, are you Christian? That's a surefire way to get banned. And age, same thing, meet seniors. It doesn't imply that. You can, when you say meet other seniors, the word other or are you, that implies that person's demographic and they do not like that. So like here, are you gay? Are you a lesbian? You have to be careful about that. Facebook does not like that. They really don't like that. Okay, so this is a big part of the policy. So make sure you go through that and make sure that when you write your ad copy that you comply with these policies. And then we have adult content. They definitely do not like nudity, implied nudity. They don't like anything that shows anything sexual in nature, abs, buttocks, chest. Even though it might not be offensive to you, it's definitely offensive to Facebook because they don't want to offend anyone. All right. Sexually explicit content. Even though it may not be nude, it's portraying excessive nudity like this. just even a chest or even a statue. So the statue's okay. It's a statue, so that's fine. But real life sexuality or a sexual nature is not okay. So what you need to do is go through the prohibited content, make sure that you're not in there. Weapons, third-party infringement, personal attributes, and all that. So I know this takes time, but you're going to be thankful in the future. Because when you get an account banned or deleted, that's just a headache. Another thing is brand usage in ads. They don't like it when you use other people's brands. If it's your brand, that's okay. But if you use something like Coca-Cola's brand in your ads, that means it's going to be a legal lawsuit against them. And they don't want that. All right. So they don't want to deal with that. So if we go back to the first page, we can see the ad review process. So we can get an idea of how they review ads. So it says during the ad review process, we'll check ads, images, text, targeting, and positioning. Now, usually by default, the Facebook robot will essentially approve your ad. But over time, you might be getting a manual review, which means an actual human may be reviewing your ad. Now, sometimes if you get your ads disapproved and you know you've read through and you've complied with those rules, then you can request a manual review, or you can contact them via support as well. So make sure you read through it is basically the gist of this video. Hello and welcome to video number 7. We're going to talk about the Facebook tracking code, which is known as the Facebook Pixel. This code is very important. It's not just a code that you place on your website, but this piece of code can track everything that goes on in your funnel, from people landing on your landing page, your opt-in page, to subscribing, to your thank you page, to your add to cart, to your purchase page, your thank you page, and all of that. And what it allows you to do is it allows Facebook to figure out who your ideal customer is. Now, obviously, you need to do what we call training the pixel first and foremost, which basically means that you are telling it, based on the data that you're sending it, who's a customer, who's not a customer, and how Facebook is able to go throughout its database to find the customers. So the pixel is very powerful. It can do many different things, more than what we just talked about. But let's dive in and let's show you what it's all about. Okay, so to create a Facebook pixel, all you need to do is simply go to business.facebook.com, log in, and up at the top, click the menu, and this will drop down. And then you'll want to click on All Tools, or put your mouse over this, and click on Pixels. Once you've done that, you will reach this page. And this page will show you all of your Facebook pixels. Bear in mind that you can create as many pixels as you want, but for the sake of this example, we'll just create one pixel. So what you need to do is when it says add new data source, click this here. And also keep in mind that Facebook changes their user interface a lot of times, like every single week. So what you want to do is if it does change, look for the Facebook pixel creation. So we're going to click on add new data source, click on Facebook pixel. And the next thing we'll do is click on pixel name. So we'll call this scuba diving pixel. You can enter their website URL if you want to, but you don't have to. It's optional. Click create. And Facebook will create the pixel. Now it's time to get the pixel. So Facebook is going to give you different options. You can connect to a specific partner platform if you want to just go ahead and install it there. But for the most part, you're probably not going to be using this. So you want to manually install the pixel code yourself. You can email the instructions to a developer if you have one, but if you don't, click this one here right here. So now it's going to say locate the header code for your website. And up at the top, when you're editing your HTML or you're using something like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels or another landing page builder, you want to enter the script in the head code. So this is going to be the pixel right here. So we're going to click this here and it immediately copies it and we click continue. Now, Facebook has what we call events. And what events are basically parts of your funnel. You can tell it, okay, if somebody lands on your first page, you can call it a lead. If somebody fills in their email and their name to get perhaps a lead magnet or a freebie, you can send them to the next page, which could be the thank you page. So what events allow you to do is it allows you to track everything through the funnel. But in order to get that to work, you need to insert the pixel into your HTML or your website page. Now, to give you a good idea of the events, if you go here, it'll give you some ideas of different events that you can track. So you can track view content, search, add to cart. So if somebody adds an item to the cart, you can add the pixel code on the cart page so that you can track that data. You can track the purchase. So if you click that, you can see it gives you the script code right here and tells you how to track it. So the script code is FBQ track and then the word purchase. Now you're going to see a pattern here. If you take a look at subscribe, for example, it says FBQ track subscribe. So basically the second word here is replaced by that particular event. So we can scroll back to the top here, view content. That's FBQ, and the second word is just view content. So all you need to do is simply add that to your pixel code. Okay, so we're not going to dive too much into this. We're going to move to the next video and show you how to set up your ads. Hello and welcome to video number 8. Let's talk about ad campaigns and how to set them up and all of that. Okay, so to get to Facebook Ads Manager, up at the top, click on the menu, click on Ads Manager, and you'll get this page. And you'll want to click on campaigns if it doesn't go there immediately. The next thing you want to do is simply click the green Create button, like so. And here we go. So we have campaign, and the campaign specifies the objective. The ad set specifies the specific page, the audience, basically who you're trying to target. And then of course the ad is going to be the creative ad, the images, the text, the headline, and all of that. So the campaign is this video. So most of you are going to be using traffic or engagement. You're not going to use app installs unless you have an app. You won't use video views unless you have a video. And then we've got messages, lead generation, brand awareness, and reach. So knowing your objective is key. If you click on traffic, you're going to see that you can target conversions. Now, conversions can be anything from a purchase where somebody pays money versus something like a lead where somebody fills in their email and their name and they give you something so that you give them a lead magnet or a freebie in exchange. So that can be conversions. And then of course, engagement can be in the form of a post engagement. So if you want stuff like comments, shares, likes to a specific post, you would choose that and click on continue. Or if you want to grow your Facebook fan page and get more page likes, you would click this one right here. Now, for the sake of showing you how to set up a Facebook ad to the fullest extent, we're going to be using traffic and conversions. So we're going to click that. You want to name the campaign to something that's generic or general to whatever you're promoting. Don't worry about any of these for now. These are more advanced. Click continue. And there we go. So campaign's easy. It's merely setting the objective and that's it. The next step is the ad set, which is going to be the targeting. essentially who you're targeting. And that's why we did all the demographic research beforehand. So now we can enter that in here. So with that said, let's move on to the next video. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 9. Let's talk about ad sets. So earlier we talked about campaigns. Within campaigns, we have ad sets, and within ad sets, we have ads. So within ad sets, you're able to tell Facebook who you want to target. So having that avatar profile on hand is crucial for this part. So with that said, let's dive in. Okay, so like I said, in ad set, you have the ability to change the ad set name. So within a campaign, you can have several different ad sets. And so for example, if you're doing scuba diving, you could do an ad set for just males or just females, or males of a specific age or females of a specific age, or specific interests. You could target specific jobs. So they could be different ad sets. And that's what it is. So what you would do here is you would click this here. You would choose the specific product that you're promoting in the pixel. Now, what dynamic creative is it says provide individual assets like images, headlines, and it'll automatically optimize. So in layman terms, what that means is, let's say, for example, that you upload in the ad 3 different images, 3 different texts, 3 different headlines, and 3 different call to actions. What Facebook is going to do is it's going to create all different variations of those combinations. It's going to run the ads, and it's going to figure out of those ads which text, which headline converts the best, which image converts the best, and it's going to run the traffic to that ad. So instead of you trying to figure that out, you allow Facebook's very smart algorithm to figure that out. So in order to do that, you would select Dynamic Creative and click Continue. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we're not going to do that right here. But that's there if you want to. Now, offer, it says drive more conversions by creating an offer people can save and get reminders about. So you can do that as well here. Next, we have audience. So like we said earlier, one cool thing is if you go to Audience Insights and you do the research, you can actually save that audience, and then you can select the audience here. All right, so use a saved audience. Now, we're going to do everyone in the United States from the ages, remember we saw 25 to about 54. Like so. Now, because we're in the United States, language we can leave blank. Now, detailed targeting. This would include the interest. So this could be scuba diving. Now, let me delete that. We selected the employers, so make sure that you choose the right one. So we can see interest. It has 28 million people. That's a good sign. And we're going to uncheck that. We're going to leave it at automatic placements, daily budget, conversions. So what this is going to do is it's going to optimize for conversions. Now, conversion window. What this means is you have 1-day click or 7-day click. Basically, in essence, usually you choose 1-day click if somebody clicks through to your ad and they make a purchase. If it takes them a long time or a long period to click through, then you want to do 7 days click. Now you can read more about this and how it works over here. So next thing we want to do is click continue. And that's it. So now we have created our ad set. So as you can imagine, you can create multiple ad sets, as you saw, because it's 29 million for scuba diving. I can split that up and do one ad set for male, one ad set for females, one ad set maybe for Hawaii, one ad set maybe for Florida. So you can have several different ad sets and then figure out which one works the best. So now let's talk about the ad, which is the next video. Congratulations, you've reached the end of this course. This is video number 10. And in this video, we're going to talk about ads. So now you can take your creatives, your images, your text, your headlines, your sales copy essentially for your ad, and we can set that up within the ad level. So to give you more practical information, let's dive in and jump over to Facebook. Okay, so this is the ad, and what you want to do first is up at the top, you're going to want to choose the Facebook fan page that you're going to advertise from. Next, right here, you're going to select the Instagram profile if you have one. If you don't and you're not advertising to Instagram, don't worry about it. The next thing is format, which is different types of ways that Facebook will show your ad. So you can show your ad via multiple images in a carousel format. You can show one image like most of you are used to, or a video, or a group of items that opens into a full screen mobile experience. And most of you are going to use this one or this one. So this one is a single image or a video. So all you have to do is select that and scroll down. So you have the opportunity to choose an image or a video. Now, like I said, if you did choose the dynamic creative, then it will give you the opportunity to add multiple ads or multiple images or multiple videos. So you can upload the image that you have access to, or you can select free stock images. Now, at this point, you could select your account, your page, your Instagram, and what it'll do is it'll pull the images from those assets. So we typed in scuba, we could select one of these images. It says watermark won't appear in the final image. So that's good. So even though you see the watermark, it will not appear in the final image. We'll click continue, and it'll say enter the text for your ad. You can enter the text here. So the text is essentially going to appear at the top of your image. So if we take a look at one of the ad previews here, so when you see the ad, it's going to appear above the image, this right here. The website URL that you want to send them to is going to be here, and the headline is going to be right here. So you can, if you enter the website URL, display the URL here. And then you have the headline, you have the call to action, which appears to the further right. Let's see if we can move that over, but it's going to be on the right-hand side. So the call to action can be learn more, apply now, book now, contact us. So it really depends on your offer, and you can go from there. And there we go. Now you can enter a display link, a newsfeed link description, but oftentimes we leave these blank. You got URL parameters. If you're not familiar with this, don't enter anything here. Basically, this allows you to track if you have a tracking system. And that's it.